Good morning, Michelle Mainville from M Fitness for Life. Today we are going to work through some complexes. So what a complex is within one exercise, you're really doing two or multiple exercises. So today you're basically going to perform 5 different exercises. We're going to work for 30 seconds, rest for 45 seconds, and we'll do 4 rounds of each of those exercises. No extra rest in between rounds. So you can use either a sandbag, which is what I'm going to use. You can use a dumbbell, or you can use a kettlebell. So I'll show you each variation, and you can choose based on what you have at home. So you're gonna wanna go probably with a moderate weight. See how you do. If the first round is too easy, you can always take it up a notch and add a little extra weight, or just grab another implement to use. So give it a try. First thing we're gonna do is a clean to a squat. So with the sandbag, you're gonna use the outside handles. You're gonna clean it up to a front loaded position and go right into that squat. What that looks like with a kettlebell is hinging at the hip, holding at your chest, dropping into your squat. If you have dumbbells at home, you can use that as well. If your dumbbells are light enough, you can actually go with 2 at a time, right? But if your dumbbells are too heavy to do 2 at a time, you can do 1 at a time. So just make sure that you're hinging at the hip on that clean, bring it up, and then come right into your squat and reverse that back down. Make sure you're hinging and that the knees are not coming forward. Next up is going to be a push-up into a bag drag. So you're going to grab your bag or implement. It's going to be underneath you. I like to set the bag up right against my knees and then get into that plank position. Hands are going to be just outside the chest. So you're going to give me a push-up and then recenter the hand, drag that bag, push up, recenter the hand, drag the bag back. Okay, back and forth. You could do the same thing with a kettlebell. Just watch your surface. Make sure that it can drag. You could always put a paper plate underneath. If you are going to use a kettlebell to do this, you're going to have to spin it around to the other side, and you always want to make sure that you're coming up and under. You can do the same thing with a dumbbell. Just make sure that you are not turning that hand over as you do the drag. Worst comes to worst, just give me push-ups for that 30 seconds and don't worry about the drag. Okay, next up is going to be 3 high pulls followed by a lateral lunge left and right. So on that last high pull, you're actually gonna clean it. So it'll be high pull, clean, and then lunge left, lunge right. Again, high pull, clean it, lunge left, lunge right. You can also do that with a kettlebell. So with the kettlebell, this is obviously a little too light for a high pull, but same thing, high pull, clean it, lunge and lunge. A little bit trickier with a dumbbell, but you can still do it. Just watch that you're hinging at the hip. High pull, elbows come up, high pull, clean it, and squat. I'm sorry. High pull, careful, clean, and lunge. Okay? So next up is going to be a forward crawl with a bag drag. Again, you can use a kettlebell or a dumbbell. Just make sure that you're keeping the hips level, and when you go to do that drag, that you're not rotating at all. Okay, so I'm gonna come towards you on the diagonal. So you're gonna start with whatever it is between your feet. If you can, you're gonna hover off the knees. If you can't, just stay on your hands and knees. But my right hand's gonna go up and under and grab that outside handle. I'm actually gonna hover my knees. I'm gonna pull that through and then crawl. Pull that through, take 2 steps, crawl. I'm gonna do about 3 reps, and then I'm gonna reverse it with the other hand. And then next time, I'll pull forward with the left hand, pull back with the right. So you're actually gonna forward and backward crawl. If you don't want a backward crawl, just spin it around and go back the other direction. Okay, last one is going to be a kneel to stand and balance. So you're gonna clean this into a front-loaded position. And what we're gonna do is take a giant step back, another into tall kneeling. Notice how my toes are tucked. Whatever foot goes back last is the foot that's coming forward first, and then step back. So you can alternate sides if your brain can handle remembering which direction you've been. Otherwise, I would suggest doing all one side and switching halfway at that 15-second mark. Or you could count reps, do 3 or 4 reps on one side, 3 or 4 reps on the other side. And I think I forgot to show the balance. I did. Okay, last exercise is going to be a kneel to stand with balance. So you're gonna clean the bag up just once. You're gonna step back, whatever foot was back last is the one that's coming forward, and then you're gonna bring that knee through and then just land it. So we're gonna stay on one side for half the time and then go to the other side. Now if you can't manage that balance, that's fine. Just step the foot forward and skip the knee coming up. Ready to rock and roll? Let's do it. So just start down on the ground, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And we're gonna prop on up onto those forearms, tongue to the roof of your mouth, leading with your eyes. Nod the head up and down. And go left to right. And come on up. Eyes are forward, tongue to the roof of your mouth, rock it. Your feet can be flat or toes can be tucked, whatever feels good to you. Full range of motion. If it feels better, you can come down to those forearms. Just try to keep those eyes forward. And once again, roll over onto your back. And we're gonna work through those hips. So on your back and take the knees over to one side and then over to the other. You do want your hips to be just slightly, or your feet slightly wider than your hips. And let's climb up to those feet. Feet are gonna be wide outside your hips. You're gonna drop into your legs, and we're gonna work through the middle part of that spine. So we wanna make sure that we're down low, that we're not moving through our lower back. We wanna get that middle portion, your thoracic spine moving. Nicely done. Stand on one foot. Let's work through some balance and stretch those hammies. So hinge from the hip, come on down. Do that again. And change size. Use your feet to grip the ground. You'll probably notice you have better balance on one side than the other. Keep your knees softly bent. And come on down for a side plank. So on your forearm, hips are stacked and feet are scissored. Press through that bottom forearm. Reach out of your top hand. Make sure that elbow is not way beyond your shoulder there. Should be right underneath. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. Sun's coming up. I got some crazy lighting. Good, push through that forearm. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on up. Arms are gonna come up and overhead. We're gonna reverse lunge. So arms up, alternate your feet. And skaters. So touch the ground or not. You can stay up high. And we are ready to rock and roll. So choose which implement you're gonna use, sandbag, kettlebell, or dumbbell. And we're gonna work through those complexes, 30 seconds on, 45 seconds off. Let's do it. Okay, getting ready for the clean to squat. First exercise, clean grip. And go. So if for some reason you're gonna do one dumbbell or one side, I'll try to remember to give you a halfway. Otherwise, you're gonna want to count reps and make sure you're changing sides. Halfway there. So you got plenty of rest. I could probably go heavier on this, but unfortunately, I don't have the ability to go to the weight that I need. So I'm just gonna take my speed up. Okay, next up is the push-up and bag drag. So push up, drag one way, your hand is going underneath, right? Underneath. Excuse me. All right, let's get set up. So you're on your hands and knees. Whatever you're using is butt up against those knees. You're gonna come into a plank position and you're gonna grab from underneath. Ready, go. Oops, forgot the push-up. Recenter the hand. So depending on how many push-ups you want to do, you could do the push-up in between, or you could drag, and then push up like I'm doing. Nice work. Okay, rest. High pull for 3. On that third one, don't forget to clean it. And then we've got lateral lunge left, lateral lunge right. So again, if I had a heavier weight, I'd be taking my time on this, but I'm not gonna jump up to 60 pounds. So I'm gonna use my power bag and move a little bit faster. High pull, the clean grip is gonna be what we're gonna use. Make sure you don't grab those snatch handles. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. So high pull, clean this one, and then lunge. Whoops, and lunge. High pull, clean it, lunge, and lunge. Again, 3, 2, clean, and lunge. 3, 2, and clean. All right, next up is the forward crawl and drag. So I would suggest having the handles up and not dragging on the floor. Remember, you have the option to have your knees completely on the ground But we are working in opposition. So if you try to do same side, you're gonna fall over. Still on the drag, and then crawl opposite arm, opposite leg, opposite foot. Hover, grip, go. Remember, we're gonna go backwards in opposition. So just remember which hand you're dragging with to start. So then you're gonna drag back. And here's where you have to think. Nice work. Moving on to the kneel to stand with balance. So remember, if you're getting tripped up by the balance portion of this, don't worry about doing that. It's better for you to nail that kneel to stand than anything. So I'm gonna turn the suitcase handle towards me. Pick your poison, whatever you're gonna use, you just gotta get it into that front loaded position. If you have a kettlebell, you're gonna goblet hold. If you have a dumbbell, you're gonna hold it like that in a goblet hold as well. So let's get ready, get it in place. Feet under hips, big step back, tall kneeling. Last leg that goes back is the first that comes forward. Bring that knee through. I'll give you a halfway, which is gonna be right here. So change sides. Again, don't be surprised if one side is slightly better than the other. Make sure you're using both feet to stand. And keeping those elbows up if you have that sandbag. Nice work. Okay, that's one round. We're gonna clean to squat. So if you found that whatever you were using was not heavy enough, I would suggest this round you go up a notch and challenge yourself a little bit further. Okay, get ready to go. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Clean to squat. Keep the bag in tight to your body. Get those elbows up. Nice deep squat. Keep your chest up. Eyes forward. Push your feet down into the ground when you stand up. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All right, get set up for that bag drag. And go. So drag to one side, drag to the other side, give me a push-up. Keep those hips nice and level. You want to push into the balls of your feet and make sure your hand is gripping down into the ground. Nice and strong, create that tension throughout your body. And stop. Okay, moving on into the 3 high pulls and the power clean. We're going to make sure we keep that bag in nice and close to the body. Use your elbows. Lead with your elbows. Get ready. And go. So 3 high pulls and that power clean to lunge. Good. Stepping out to the side, make sure you're pushing those hips back. On the high pull, you are hinging. Nicely done. Good work. Moving right along. We're going to do the forward drag. So you're going to hover over top of that bag and you're going to reach under from the front and pull that bag forward as the knees are hovering off the ground. We are working in opposition. So you'll pull and then the foot and the opposite hand will move forward. So again, it's important to keep the hips level, but make sure that you are gripping. So whatever's in contact with the ground, you are gripping.
Ready?
Go. Nice little challenge. Do the best you can to keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth and keep your eyes slightly forward. And the reverse is going to be the challenge. So you're using the opposite arm to pull down, and we'll make sure that we switch that up the next round. And watch that stuff behind you. Nice work. Excellent job. Those are tough. Up on your feet. Take a breath. We are going to front load the USB or kettlebell. And we are going to kneel to stand. So making sure we take a nice big step back. Whatever foot was last going back is the first foot that's coming forward. And try your balance today to see if you can stay on that one foot. Nice big steps back. Halfway through, you want to make sure that you're switching. If the balancing is a problem, just step forward. You don't need to bring that knee up. And rest. Come on up. Challenging. So plenty of rest time. You can definitely go a little bit heavier with your weights, unless you don't have access to that, in which case you want to work through some speed with good form. So we are right back to the top. Take that recovery time and enjoy it. We've got 5.
Ready?
Go clean to squats. Excellent. Make sure, showing you that side view, that you are hinging each time on that clean. As you squat, you want to keep the elbows up and sit those hips way back. Gets that heart rate up. Awesome job. Back to the lateral bag drag with the push-up. So again, if you want to work more pressing, do a push-up after every drag. If you want to focus more on core strength and overall strength, then just do 1 push-up to 2 bag drags. Either way works. Find what works for you today. You've got about 10 seconds. 5.
Ready?
Go. So we are making sure that we are pulling down around the lower rib cage area. Sometimes we have a tendency to let that bag come up towards the shoulder. And we want to try to keep the work in the lat. So lower rib cage, upper hip works. Keeping the hips level, keeping the shoulders level. And you are there. Come on up. All right. Get ready to rock and roll. High pull to clean to lateral lunge. Breathe in, breathe out.
Ready?
And go. Clean it. Hips go back. Nice big step out to the side, right back to that hinge position. Nice. On the high pulls, you want to drive your feet into the ground and pull that head up towards the ceiling. 4 seconds. Excellent job. We are back down to the ground for that forward and backward crawl. Take a little breather. So we want to try to keep the knees close to the ground. A lot of times folks will feel this in their knees, and that's probably because your knees are too far forward. So keep the knees directly under the hips, hands directly under the shoulders. As you crawl forward, you're keeping those steps nice and small. 5 seconds.
Ready?
Go. The more you do this, the easier it gets. It will still challenge you, but a lot of it is just your brain trying to piece together exactly how you're to move, especially when you go backwards. So just breathe. Do the best you can. Three. And rest. Excellent. Climb up on those feet. We'll clean to front. And get up, get down. If you struggle on the get up, get down with weight, you can opt to use no weight and just do a split stance. That would work, where you're in a half kneeling position and you just get up, get down. Get ready. Elbows are lifted. Pull the bag into your body.
Ready?
Focusing on a big step back. Go. As you step forward, let's make sure that foot comes under the knee. So heel under knee as you step forward. We are right about halfway. Excellent work. Nice job. You are back to the top. Power clean to squat. So just remember, on the power clean, you want your hips going back. On the squat, you want to make sure your hips are going back, however, that your weight is not shifting forward into the knee joint. So elbows come up on the power clean and hips go back on both the power clean and the squat. On the squat, just make sure you're keeping that chest up, eyes forward in 3.
Ready?
Go. Keeping your eyes up will help you from leaning forward, will help keeping you from leaning forward on the squat. Halfway. Crank it out. If your weight is heavier and you need to go slower, that is absolutely fine. Make sure you're working at your own pace. 3. And stop. Excellent. To the lateral back drag and push up. These guys are challenging. The back drag is challenging. Throw the push up in there. It makes it just that much more challenging. So hang in there. You've got 20 more seconds of rest. Enjoy it. Ten seconds. And 3.
Ready?
Go. Remember, it's always underhand. As you get tired, your form may start to decline. So think about what you're doing. You can slow it down, but let's keep the bag from creeping up so that we're feeling more shoulder, or less shoulder, more lat. You got it. 5 more seconds. You are almost there. Excellent job. Back on our feet. Got a lot of up and down in this workout, but that's good. Variety is the spice of life. All right, we got this. So just a reminder, keep the bag in nice and close to your body. On the lateral lunge, you want to make sure that those hips are going back. Hips are going back. 15 seconds. 5.
Ready?
Go. Nicely done. Tap into that power on that power, the high pull. Pull those handles apart. You got it. And stop. Forward drag. Okay, catch your breath. And get ready. Come on down, straddle that bag. We're going to pull from underneath, so just make sure your hand is going up, your palm is going up as you drag forward and backwards. 10 seconds. 3,
Ready?
2, and go. Nice and close to the ground with those knees. Keep the hand under the shoulder, knee under the hip. Little brain exercise today. Halfway. 10 seconds. Nice. Okay. Bottom of the round. Front load your bag. And let's work through that balance. You got this. 25 seconds. Quick drink. And get ready to rock and roll. Get that guy into position. Nice big step back.
Ready?
And go. Just remember that you are keeping the elbows up and pulling that bag into your body. You want to keep the weight nice and tight in so you don't feel your lower back. Remember, the balance part is optional. 3. And nice job. All right. We are finished and we're going to stretch. So just take those hands behind your back, open up through the chest. If you have a foam roller, you can lie on it and reach your arms up and down, opening up the chest. Now just wrap those hands around in front, clasp your wrists, around out that upper back and reach nice and tall. Take a lean to one side and the other. Forgot to turn that timer off. Drive the hands to either side. Cross that one foot over, stretch through the glute, and switch it up. And we'll grab that foot, stretch the quad. Switch. And take a step forward. Stretch the back of that thigh. Change it up. And you guys are done. Excellent job. And we will see you next time. Yes, you got it. Have a great weekend. And I will see you next Saturday.